community. See you there. See you in the community.
Matt, my man. Hey, I'm mute.
Oh yeah, I was saying long time no see.
Hey, we got a squad here, baby. We got some true hustlers here right off the bat. Y'all all know each other?
I think I've met a couple of these guys at the conference. We sat next to a few of you guys, James and Robert. You're here in San Antonio, right?
Yeah, I'm here in San Antonio.
The live stream.
And Paulie. Dang, we got some. This is a good group right here, baby. Hey, just so y'all know, this is really cool. Paulie has a team, and they have to do 20 contacts before 12 o'clock every day. So that's 200 calls. I mean, they're doing massive amount outbound. It's pretty inspiring.
If we can, we got a few new members here. Matt, you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are and what you're focusing on? And then I'd like Andy to as well.
Sure. So my name's Matt Bowman. I have an architecture firm and a commercial real estate company. I also do investment vehicles for people, like retirement strategies and 401k, IRA, all that kind of stuff. And so we have a full team that does that as well. And then we really started out as an architecture firm, and we found that a lot of our clients were being underserved in the commercial real estate sector and not being fully represented as far as what architecture can contribute to commercial real estate negotiations. And so then after, we've been doing that since 2017. And after doing that for a few years, we realized that the best play for us was to help people manage their money so that they could do more deals and make more money. So we could manage more money and help them make more money, and then manage more money and then make more money. So it became this cycle of, if as an architect, I had a lot of clients who were coming to me for like 1 or 2 buildings because they were like building a doctor's office, and it was their family practice, and that was the only building they were going to do for 10 years. Or, the offset of that, you're working with an institutional client who's doing 20 buildings, but we wanted to help the people who were doing the one-off stuff do multiple projects, and help them really build wealth. And so that's where we've kind of found ourselves being.
Very cool. And you're out of San Antonio?
I'm out of San Antonio. Yeah.
Awesome. Robert here is stationed in San Antonio.
Yeah, Matt and I actually met. I didn't recognize him with the backwards hat. He was much his hair combed like you at the meetup.
Yeah, I've had my hat on too much today, so it doesn't look as good as yours. Sorry.
All good. And welcome, Matt. Matt literally joined about 4 minutes ago. So welcome, Matt. These calls, we do a few different things, but for these 4 p.m. weekly calls, we usually answer any questions anybody has. We run through deals. We analyze deals. We may, like today, we're going to call a broker at 4:20. Matt's got a call with broker who's got a deal out in Wichita, Kansas. So we do a few things, but mostly the goal here is for people to bring deals and for everybody to kind of work together, everybody to do more together. And so we take this opportunity to do that. We're going to have more structured weekly calls coming soon. So at the end of this, I'd love to get some more insight from everybody here. Andy is also new to the community. Andy, if you don't mind, are you able to unmute yourself and introduce who you are and what your goals are?
Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Awesome. My name's Andy Tran. I'm based out of Austin, Texas. I'm happy to join the group. Alex have been extremely welcoming. He's shown me and a lot of things and answered a lot of questions. I have a little background. I'm no way a pro. I'm hoping to learn from people, but in the meantime, I bought like 7, 8 properties. Um, Anything I can help with, just reach out. I'll share what I know, and if not, I can always help work on anything if I can help the team out. I'm constantly buying, and I have good credit, I have good income, and I have some assets that I can probably continue. So, but most of all, I'm interested in learning, so and sharing. So if anybody um, likes to um, work together, give me a chance, and I'll do my best. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Andy. When Andy and I were talking, he's done a lot by himself. He's bought eight properties here in Austin. He's got one under contract right now. One of the big things, for him joining the community was to be able to partner with people and do more with everybody here. Everybody kind of focus on, what they're good at, and we all kind of grow together. And Andy's really excited with the opportunity to partner and do some deals with other people here in the community. Cool. Well, I would love to, we toured a 34 unit apartment complex today. Polly, Timberly, Alex, James, Andy came. Is that it? Oh, Mybrit, she's not in here right now, I don't believe. But I would love to get y'all's thoughts on touring the apartment complex. Hopefully everybody was able to analyze the deal as much as you could prior to going. But what'd you learn there? What stuck out? What do you think about it? There's Mybrit. Anybody who toured today, what were your thoughts?
Hey, and real quick to jump in, that's a deal that we actually put an offer in on. And so for y'all that did go out there, we might be getting that one signed up. It'd be $127,000 a door, and the rents might justify breaking even currently. And so I just want to throw that out there. Would love to hear y'all's thoughts, and I'm glad that y'all went there. And we want to do this as much as possible. And if you guys have apartments that you can set up tours on, like bring everyone else, and let's all go together on those as well.
Hey, Matt, how many doors did you say it was? 34?
Yep.
And do you have to sign up on the Facebook page, I guess, to know about it?
Just, we're just posting it everywhere we can, letting people know. They come from time to time, so they're not always scheduled like weeks in advance. We just get deals every day. We're getting more and more deal flow. As you guys hopefully know, the goal here is just how do we do deals together? And I'm really, really excited about this group because, as we built out TRE, it's been great, but it's a real estate brokerage, and that's awesome. But that's one component of what we do. This is about deal finders and investment. And this is really what Alex and I specialize in. And a lot of people here come with a lot of different skill sets. Like the more you get to meet everybody, everybody's doing something different and cool and unique. And there's just so much power. Once we start really rolling and we're all buying these things together. I mean, as we've talked about before, like everybody puts in 20K or 50K on a deal. We got a lot of capital. So we just try to keep you updated as much as we possibly can, mostly on the enTREpreneur Facebook group. As soon as they come out, we post them there.
Well, for everyone who came today, what were your thoughts?
Well, I kind of came on the tail end, but just when I asked why are they selling, right? That's always a good question to ask when people are offloading assets like multifamily. It kind of made sense, right? Alex, I was telling you, I was like, none of this makes sense on the operating expenses. But it was a 1031 cash exchange. And so it was just an investor who bought that. You can tell they're not managing it well. You can tell that they're just kind of like, all right, I need to free up my cash for something else. And so, You guys are at 126,000 a door, right, Matt?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Man, I would say, personally, I mean, I would be more aggressive on dropping that price.
Yeah.
Just because you are breaking even, and so if you look at the structure itself, the only concern that I had is its viability. You know, you can always tell if a area has foundation issues by just looking at like the parking lot. That's always a good indication of like, hey, there's some shift here. So just from one entrepreneur to the other, I would want you guys to be successful.
Yeah.
But I would be aggressive on that price and to drop that because the occupancy is there, right? Like it's there. It's in a good area. It's close to, well, it's not in the best area, but it's Austin, Texas, and it's close to North Campus. So I could see that being like a student housing of some sort, adding some kind of incentive, or maybe collaborating with the University of Texas or surrounding universities for some kind of housing there, getting some tax abatements. But I think it's a good find, high price, in my opinion, much higher than what I think it is worth. And I haven't really broke down all the expenses and looking at, based on y'all's interest rate, what you guys are going to be debt servicing. But I think it's anytime you can get an asset class that's going to be full occupancies, that's great. I would just, for my opinion, just drop the price and be more aggressive on that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And hey, we appreciate any feedback. You know, like I've said before, this isn't the Matt and Alex show. This is about all of us. So just to keep in mind, and I'll get other people's perspective and would love to hear feedback as well. But we break it down, at least me. I mean, I did 2 years of hardcore spreadsheet analysis, but I keep it very, very simple. And I do price per door, and then I do rent per door. And I really always keep in mind that 1% rule. And then I know different markets. Like, speak up if you guys have thoughts. But in my opinion, San Antonio is like a 1.5 to 2% market, where Austin is typically 0.7. Corpus is 1.5. You know, Killeen is 2. And so when you think about it, in my perspective, 127 a door. If we're getting 1,200 a door in rent, that's 1% rule. And I do think that we could potentially get there. But it's close to that. So like 900, 1,000. So it's close. So it breaks even. And I hear you. And here's another thing to really consider. We really try to instill the no fear attitude. And so trust me, I started lower, but there's a couple people that have offered. And so this is what, unfortunately, it's taken to get competitive. But what we would do is, once we put this under contract, and I want you guys to really grasp this, is it doesn't mean that we have to, one, buy it at that price, and two, it doesn't mean that we have to buy it at all, right? And so what we would do is we would explore every single option once we got control of it, knowing that it's not a great deal, but it's potentially a deal. And so, for example, if we were to get that money in cash, then it does become a good deal because we cash flow every month, right? Or maybe we find somebody who's doing a 1031 and we wholesale the deal to that person and they don't mind, paying 140 a door, right? And so just getting control is the goal here when there's something reasonable and there's not a lot of competition. Because 6-8 months ago, I mean, there'd be 20 offers on this thing and you'd have to put $50K non-refundable. So with the price per door, what other values can come with that, right? And one of them is time on the contract and refundable money. And so what we did was 60-day due diligence, 60-day close. So that gives us 4 months to figure the deal out when we might have 25K refundable at risk. So I do agree with you, but I just want to throw that out there, that there's all these other variables.
I figured you were going to tie it up, and then from there you do your due diligence, and then you guys renegotiate the price.
Yeah. And there's also an opportunity for a loan assumption, which is there's some significant value to that at 3.5% interest rate. So I just want to throw that out there. I'd love to hear people's thoughts, feedback on that. If you have any questions on that, like, I really want to encourage you guys, which we've told Paulie about, like, you're the buyer, I'm the buyer. Like, don't be scared to act like you're the one that's going to buy it. And you got to know, especially with this group, that you have people that will support you where you actually are the buyer, right? But the only way to get these things locked up and get control of them is to dive in there, and they're not going to like even want to talk to you if it's for a client or you're not coming in strong. And so just getting that control is a serious value. And it's actually a hard thing to do in Austin. But I don't disagree by any means. I mean, I'd love feedback or opinions. I just like the idea of getting control of an asset in Austin when there's less competition. And I do believe that it's reasonably priced. I know that I'm not overpaying. That's one thing that's for sure. So just throwing that out there.
What street?
We'll send you we can send you the actual, I don't know if you can post it here, Alex, but we can email it to you guys. If you post your email, we can email it all, or we'll get you all the details on it.
Another thing to,
Just the street name?
I'll share my screen here in a second. And another thing to consider is, so we all know that this owner, number one, doesn't really care about the property too much, right? And number two, the management company, maybe they're trying to manage it well, but maybe the owner's not allowing them to spend money on things, which is a possibility. But we know there's a ton of upside from here on what it can be. One of the downsides is it's a lot of studio units, right? So it's not like we're talking about 2-1s or 1-1s even necessarily for a majority of the units. But a lot of these deals, they're not going to be great when you buy it, right? Like this one obviously is not a great deal because they're mismanaging it and not really treating it well. But it has the opportunity to turn into something. And in Austin, Austin is a unique market where those are sometimes, what's available, right? And that is the opportunity in Austin versus, San Antonio, for example, where you may be able to walk into something great day one. But even if it is great, if it has that upside there, it has the potential to be that much better. But very good observations, Alex. And you did miss some of it, but not too much. You missed the tour of the units, but you got the gist of kind of where everything's at, right? Broker's there to sell a vision. Vision is this has been mismanaged. There's a lot of opportunity, good area, So I'm glad you were at least able to catch the tail end of it.
Yeah, and real quick, just to throw this out there. So I have two people that I was wanting to call. You guys might find value with this. One is a broker in Wichita, and this was a guy posted a deal on the Cardone page, and I got with them, and we were working this deal, and they just dropped it. So I was wanting to talk to the broker and see what's important, and then I have an off-market single-family home for $300K in Round Rock. So I want to talk to both of these people. Guys might find some value, and then anytime you guys have things you want to do, like I said, it's not the Matt and Alex show. Let's do it. Bring it up. Take the lead, and the goal is just to provide as much value as we possibly can for an hour, 2 hours, however long it takes. So that's one thing I want to put on the agenda for today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you ready to make your calls?
Yeah, I told this guy 4:20, so I'll call him right now. So just to give you guys some insight, there's the deal and then there's the relationship, right? Alex has got the Austin deal, but this is a deal in Wichita, Kansas. And really what I'm just doing is you can have these calls without knowing anything about the property if you know how to work the motivation questions, right? So I know what price, these other people had it at 4.25. I think it's right at 116 units. And I'll just come in and maybe I'll say I got a client, right? And I'll say they want to pay $3 million cash. But I'm throwing lines out there to see if they bite and to see what the motivation is.
Okay, so you're calling the Wichita guy for what property? This one? No, not
No,
Alex.
this is the Austin deal, but I'm calling the broker in Wichita, which the buyer, Teal and Roy, they dropped it. And they said, no problem, like I can work this deal. But just hear kind of how I go about it. And if you guys have feedback, please give it to me. Like we'll take it. And if you post things in the chat, I'll try to,
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Hey man, I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
Thank you for making some time.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, obviously, see with both of our schedules, it's been difficult to find time that works for both of us.
Yeah. Well, I hope everything went good with your kids' basketball game, and I just wanted to jump in, man. I kind of got brought in last minute with Rory and Teal, and I was just there to try and help them figure the deal out. And obviously they backed out, correct?
Yeah, they have. I mean, we don't have it signed yet, but they told me their intent to, and basically they said for the contractors with them that there's about $700,000 of improvements needed, which I don't agree with. I usually don't agree with contractors just throwing out numbers as you're walking through a property. And so they said that, they'd have to be at 3.5 to do the deal. And the seller's got some room here where they could do a little, but they can't come down that much.
So just to jump in, how much work do you think it would need? And also, how much room do they have?
They came back and basically he came back. He's like, the seller said, okay, I'll put 1,000 per unit, reduced price based on 1,000 per unit, and the cost of the roof that needs to be replaced that we have to bid for. That brought it down to round numbers about $4 million. Honestly, I think they do it about 3.9. We're at 4.25 right now. The cost, I mean, in all honesty, it really depends on what's going on. I just think their expectations were a little too high on what they want to do and what they expected out of a Class C property.
Yeah. So, I mean, you just kind of level with me if you can. I mean, obviously, the market is where it is, and you've had a couple people back out. I mean, what's the true motivation of the seller? Like, why do they want to sell? Now's not the time to be selling, but if someone's selling, in my opinion, there's some reason. Are they a market seller or they're just putting it out there for feelers? Like, can you kind of give me some insight?
No, I mean, they are a market seller, and I can't remember if I've kind of went through the background on this before. They bought it 3.5 years ago with the intent of putting the work and the capital into the project that it needed, because it was about 50% occupied at the time. Need quite a bit of improvements, and they've put about $1 million into it since then. And you talk about, are they really wanting to sell, or what's their motivation? Well, they got it out there earlier than they wanted to. I think the occupancy was about 75% at the time, and work was still being done because the interest rates were starting to go up. And, they're trying to beat that. Well, now they've got the occupancy up to where it should be, up in the 90s, and 95% of the work completed and everything that they plan to do. So the property's where it should be now, but of course the interest rates are biting us. I mean, if we were still down to 4.5 for interest rates, yeah, we'd have the deal sold.
What kind of discount are y'all seeing in your market with the rates changing, just in general?
Honestly, we're not really seeing much of a discount. We're just more than anything, we're seeing a drop in activity. We're not seeing sellers giving a lot, but at the same time, our market compared to you're at an offer, something like yours, we're I don't want to say flat, but we're a stable market where we don't see huge fluctuations. So we weren't seeing huge jumps and climb beforehand. So, we're going to see, cap rates, increasing, 25, 50 basis points, something like that. But it's not going to be a huge change just because we weren't extremely low beforehand.
Yeah. And what'd they pay for the property?
I'd have to look back. It was right around 2 million. And like I said, they've put another $1 million into it.
Okay. So they're in it for 3. Did they get a loan, or did they buy it all cash?
No, they have debt on it. I don't remember exactly how much. They're not over leveraged. They're not in any kind of trouble or situation where they need to sell.
Okay. Well, what do we got to do? I mean, I gotta be smart. The market is where it is. We come in with all cash and have a lower offer, or we could finance it and pay a little more. What do you think it takes to truly get a deal done and have a win-win on both sides?
Well, I think at the end of the day, I don't think they'll go below 3.9. I just really don't think they will. It doesn't make any sense for them to sell below 3.9. They're cash flowing on it now. They're the group that owns it. This is the only property they own together as a group. They all own property. They all own multifamily, both in Wichita and other places. So they have no problem holding it. So I think that's where it's got to be. Doing all cash with a quicker close, I don't think that's going to be enough enough to pull them down below that number. That they would rather go a traditional route of financing and get the number that they want and need out of it.
Okay, so you're saying that they would be open to owner financing if we could get it for 3.9, if we could pay 3.9.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you were just saying an all cash deal compared to traditional financing. I don't know if they will anymore. They before considered doing a small owner carry on the deal. Maynard and this the primary partners on this. I've worked with them a lot over the years, and they've done some other creative financing on some of their deals. One reason that they're like, well, we really prefer not to on this one is just because, once again, this is the only property owned by this entity in this group, so we would prefer not to keep it open. So, no, sorry, I wasn't clear there.
Yeah, I get it.
Prefer a traditional deal.
Well, so we try to be easy to work with. We're closers. We buy a lot of real estate. I mean, why would they be selling right now? Like, it's the worst time we've had in the last 10, 15 years. I'm just trying to really understand it, and that way I can come in and structure something.
I would say that was their intent, and that's why they tried to get it out there early, because they saw this coming. Now at the same time, once again, they'll hold if they have to. So I mean, it's not a situation where they're going to sell, but we've left it out there on the market, and quite a bit of interest, just not anything that's able to get done.
Yeah, I understand. What's like? I mean, do you have other buyers, or is it just kind of sitting there at this point?
The interest has picked up, I'd say, quite a bit over the last month. We have some groups that are interested now. We've kind of put them to the side. We have this deal under contract, of course. We were close with two other groups. One just kind of flaked out of us right before when we were dealing with Keel initially and everything. So there's an activity there, and something will get done.
Okay. So just ballpark, I don't have the financials on me right now, but price per door and rent per door, just average.
I'd say the price per door. Let me just pull my calculator real quick. If you got it at 3.9, you're 33.5 a door. Rent, average rent, you're probably was about $4.25, $4.50 a month.
Okay. And what kind of timeline do you think? I mean, if we were to come in there, you think we'd get 60 days due diligence, 60-day close?
I know they wouldn't like that long. One thing I know about with this buyer, if even a little bit of earnest money is going hard, within a few weeks, a month, it makes them feel a little bit better.
How much are we talking?
I mean, it really kind of is overall time frame, but before they talked about a couple thousand going hard, just kind of a show of good faith type of deal.
Yeah. So if we did like 2,000 non-refundable, we get 60-day close.
I think you'd be more apt to get maybe 60 and 30.
60 and 30, maybe some extensions in there with some non-refundable money.
Decisions, yes, yeah. The primary decision maker, stuff like that, makes him feel better.
Okay. So you really don't think I'd come in at 3.7 and get this deal done?
I don't think so. I honestly don't. It's I mean, they haven't yet, but I mean, it's something between 3.8 and 3.9, maybe. And I mean, I put it very light, maybe, but I know they'll do something at 3.9.
Yeah. What's your opinion? I mean, what do you think this is worth? What do I need to do to get it at 3.7?
What do you need to do to get it at 3.7?
Yeah.
I just don't know that you can get it at 3.7.
I mean, just honest broker to broker, like your opinion. I mean, I don't think it's worth 3.9. Do you?
It's hard to say they're not worth 35,000 a unit. I do think they are. Now it's once again more of a moving target these days because of interest rates. A little under 35,000 unit makes a hell of a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I can get 3.7, I'm a buyer here.
I'll let them know that. Now, and just so I understand, would this still involve Teal, or is this you separately?
This is me separately, but Teal and Roy are fully on board. You can mention it to them if you want. It would be my deal, but they would be investing at this point. Okay. But I'd be the one signing on the loan, and we'll get you that 2,000 non-refundable. We're okay with that.
Yeah, and I kind of figured that wouldn't be a problem. In all honesty, with this seller, I always thought that was just kind of a pain in the ass that he wanted that. I mean, it's just like, I get the good faith of it, but I mean, it's just like, okay, but his whole thought is someone's not willing to put 2,000, and they're just kicking tires anyway. So yeah. I will definitely let them know that we can get it done at 3.7. I don't expect that they will do it, but I can definitely let them know that. Now, would we do a new contract, or we just sign a current contract, just so I can let them know how this will all play out?
I can look at the one that you have, and see, but non-refundable 60, a 30-day extension, 5,000 non-refundable, 30-day close. And just let them know we're closers, man. They can look us up. We're all over social media. We got reviews online. We're here to get the deal done when, as there's not a lot of buyers right now. And rates are going to keep going up most likely. And so not a lot of people like us out here making it happen. So we do have to be a little bit aggressive. That's the reason for the 3.7. But we're closers. We'll make it really easy. We'll show them that we're serious, and we'll make it happen.
You have a website for you guys, anything that you'd be able to forward to, text me and forward me on phone, because stuff like that does make a difference to these guys too. I'll make sure I get them the right information.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send you everything on our company. I'll send you the website, and let's try and work this deal, and let's do some other ones. You got anything else?
Yeah, we've got others. I can send you other properties we have available out there right now too.
Cool. Well, do you agree with me? There's not a lot of buyers right now. That's what we're experiencing.
That definitely is the biggest change we've had in the last 6 to 12 months. Is it used to be the opposite, where you had plenty of buyers on enough property. Now there's more product and less buyers, and it really just kind of depends on the situation and the seller. If it's okay, well, that's fine, we'll just sit here and hold, or no, we need to get something done. So it's been a case by case basis.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you. And just to clarify, your honest opinion, I mean, you think this is 3.8, 3.7 value, right?
I think so. I think you can easily justify 3.94. I mean, I looked at this for them early on, and I was getting up to 4. So no, I do think your value there, 3.90, you can justify it all day. You'll always be in good shape buying it at 3.9.
Yeah.
We've had people looking at it over 4 and real close at doing it over 4. Not as much here recently, of course, but no, the deal makes sense.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to get your opinion. I mean, I can't pay that price. I'm just being honest. What do you honestly, I mean, what does this trade at?
Now, timing, how long it takes, I don't know, but I know they can, and they will get 3.9 if they hold out for it.
Okay.
I do firmly believe that.
Yeah, but we're talking like they might have to wait 4 or 5 years, right? I mean, with the way.
No, within I'd say 6 months, I think you can get there. The operation income of the property produced has been increasing almost every month, just because of because of where the process has been with the property.
Yeah, I hear you, and I'm not arguing with you, but rates go up, which they probably will in 6 months. I don't see that being the case. I'm just here to get it done. I think 3.7 makes sense. We'll put up more money if they want non-refundable.
Yeah. And that may do it for them. I don't know. I mean, I said this seller, they can look at different things different ways. So
yeah, let's say we give them 10 grand non-refundable, 3.7.
10 grand non-refundable up front. 60 days due diligence, 30-day close with options to extend with more earnest money.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will definitely run by them and discuss. And I'll tell you right now, I know they won't just say yes, we'll do 3.7, but my guess they'll come back. I'll let them know that you said you can't make it work at 3.9.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to do everything I can here. Just say it with me one time. Say it with me one time. 3.7 gets it done.
3.7 gets it done.
Come on, baby. Let's close it.
Trust me, I'll do what I can.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Well, send me what else you have, and we're closers. We'd love to get it done. I appreciate you. Easy to work with, and I appreciate your follow-up.
Yeah, so send me over your company websites, everything like that. Like I said, that stuff makes a difference to this group.
Cool. All right, man. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, bye.
Bye. Come on. You gotta have fun with it, right? Like, have some fun. It's okay. I've actually learned a decent amount from Grant and how he does it. And if you notice that, but he did say 3.8, right? So I pretty much know he'll do 3.8. And, but I want you guys to just keep asking, right? You kind of come back in a different way, but you're having fun and you don't get nervous about it, right? Ryan's sitting there saying, I'll lend on it. Ryan's a lender in the group. Paulie, what you got, brother?
You know, it's interesting watching that process. You hear me? You got me?
Yeah.
It's interesting watching that process versus what happens when I negotiate residential real estate, because often I find myself having to coach and help the realtor on the other side to be in the right mindset so that I know that there's the best possible chance of reception in regards to where I'm at and what reality is, or the terms, or whatever it is that we're talking about, to increase the probability that I can put a deal together, right? And so I'm watching you do that, and I'm going, okay, I mean, you were negotiating with him, but honestly, obviously he's not the principal, so he can't make the decisions, right? But then I'm watching you like when you beat meat, you tenderize the meat, right? And you're beating it, and you're beating it, and you're beating it, and you're like, come on, bro. Get into my mindset. Get into my mindset. And then he's like, and then he even laughed right at the end. So the laugh was like the auditory, like he came to it, and he's like, okay, like, you know, you're like, stay it with me. And he does Cardone do that? Does he say it with me?
No, dude, but I'm just having fun, right?
Right. But so when okay, so it's like when we're on the same page, then there's a higher probability that with his mindset and his energy, then there may be a better chance, because the initial resistance, for whatever reason, that seller has a resistance at 3.9 is going to be where it is, and now that guy has to get through to that principle to get there, because you were planting seeds on, like, well, hey, there's not a lot of buyers going on right now, right? And then you just kept going back in on getting some recognition or acknowledgement that, like, look, come on, man, like 3.7 gets it done, you know it. And then you can't, does it really, do you think it really does? And you were just kind of like tenderizing that meat to get him into that state. And that acknowledgement that may give you that opportunity. That was good.
Beautiful. And I'm glad, Paulie, thank you for, you have the ability to pick up on these things and help me put them into a process, right? But there's some inherent things that I just do. And keep in mind, I found this deal from the Cardone call from another buyer who backed out of the deal. So now I'm sitting in a better spot, but I'm having lines in the water all day with thousands of people. And then you make your money on this deal. But it's because I offered, and Rory and Teal, they're totally fine with this. I asked them, can I talk to him myself? They had it under contract at 4.25, and I told them to go back to him at 3.5. So I'm playing chess. They're hitting him at 3.5. Now he thinks that's what other people pay. Now 3.7's high, right? And you're right. I'm trying to get him on my side, and you sit and you realize, like, he's willing to talk. He's willing to listen. He's not in a rush. So let's have a little fun.
And I think that especially whether it's ego or inexperience, causes a combative conversation versus a collaborative conversation where we go, okay, well, help me understand. And all right, here's where I'm at. And the strategies that you were using to engage him to be shoulder to shoulder versus across the table.
Yeah.
Is a big difference in his mindset to go back. And even with the laugh was a big break. There was a big break on, okay, we're there. We're there. Okay, we're there. Like, let's put something, I'm going to get it done. We're going to close. We're legit. Like,
yeah.
Those
Beautiful
inches from where the other guys were at 4.2 or 4.5, where 3.9 gets it done. And then he slipped in 3.8.
Yes, you heard it.
Which means 3.7 is a possibility.
But you see, like, hey, I posted that. Let's see if I can get him another number before he said the 3.8. And it's like, I'm going to do everything I can to try to get that number without me even saying a number, ideally. Right. So you keep their baseline lower and lower. Come on, man. Where does this get done? You share. And so hopefully there's some good value there. I have fun doing that. And it's a game. It really is a game. And it's just like, it's not his money, right? But he wants to close.
And he wants a deal, man. He wants a deal. So like, that helps. That helps.
Well, here's the other thing is maybe the deal gets done with him in 6 months, but maybe every other person who calls him, he tells them, 3.9, and they never go further. Meanwhile, I know that they'll go to 3.8. And then it's just a matter of time till I get him to 3.7. Love it.
Good stuff.
Anyone thoughts, opinions, how I could have been better on that call?
You did great. Where did those people come from that dropped it?
That was from the Cardone call, yeah.
And so were they they were in the real estate club?
Yes.
Okay. Huh. That was great.
Yeah. Thanks. And hey,
what'd you learn from the Cardone? What'd you learn that you used from the Cardone?
Yeah, good question. Great question. I like how Grant always says, what'd they pay for it? Like, I never really thought that was too relevant, but it is a good thing to ask. Hey, what'd they buy it for? And I want you guys to have the courage. Sometimes people in real estate, they don't want to talk numbers or they're scared to ask. Like, hey, what'd they pay for it? What kind of loan do they have? Those are the things I've noticed from Grant.
And you did it very fluid, not like some stage thing, or you were trying to remember what to say. It was just, hey, what'd they pay? It's good.
Thank you.
Really good.
So guys, like, if you can grasp this and you can have these conversations all day, it's easy money. I mean, we could just do this all day and eventually you're going to find a deal. And so I'll do it on a single family one now. If you guys, I'll leave it open for another second. If I truly, I want to be great at this. So if anyone knows how I could be better, or even if you have an opinion, I'll take it. There's no negativity. Just if there's thoughts, opinions, please let me know.
Question. Wait, who are you calling and what are you doing? Who are you calling?
So the next one is a single family in Round Rock. It's a agent, Mandy Botts. She wants 300 for it and it's rented.
I see.
Yeah. So totally entrepreneur, right? We're all over the place.
Dude, I know Mandy. I know Mandy Botts.
Cool.
It's going to be interesting to hear like the difference in rapport from like a commercial asset and a single family. So I'm curious to see how this goes. Sorry, that's my baby.
No, you're good, man.
I bet it's totally different.
All right, let's see what's up with Mandy. I threw your comment in there, Michael. He said, how do we get to 3.7 or something like that?
Hey, Matt, how are you?
Mandy, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just, living the dream, trying to sell some real estate.
All right. Well, I'm trying to buy some, so let's make it happen.
Hey, let's see what we can do.
Well, talk to me. What do you got going? I know you got this one in Round Rock. You got other things. How do we make some money this year?
So I've got this one in Round Rock that's up, and then I have another one coming in Cedar Park, probably in about 2 weeks. That's a good little no HOA area in Cedar Park, which is awesome. And it's going to be priced pretty aggressively, just moved. Now that one's going to be a little bit more, what's the word? Market value versus investor, but it's always a good option, right? Like you never know, some investor may really want to be in Cedar Park and stuff, but those are the two right now that I've got that are going to be maybe within the wheelhouse for you.
Cool. So the 300 you think is a investment opportunity? Talk to me if you can. I mean, we're active. We've got our fund. We do need to find motivated sellers. I mean, are they motivated? Are they market seller? What's the story?
So he's an investor himself. He owns multiple properties. He's selling this for a 1031 to purchase a condo closer to downtown. And so for him, you know, he's owned this particular property for, gosh, I think like 10 years or something. And so for him, like, we priced aggressively just because, you know, I figure that's what we need to do if we really want to move it. But at the same time, for him, you know, it's all about his numbers, right? And for him, he owes, I don't even know if he has anything on it anymore at this point. So for him, it's like, well, if I want to do the 1031, I need to get 300 for it.
So he's got,
well, that makes sense.
because does he have his condo already identified? Does he know which one he wants?
He has one that he can put as identified, yes. But it's, again, it's all kind of relative for him at this point. He's located where he wants to be, the condo complex, and there is one available, but you know, I know they have all their timelines with the 1031s and stuff.
Yeah. Well, where does he want to be? I own a condo at the Tyndall.
Oh, well, hey, I'm not doing the condo thing because I told him, I was like, hey, look, I don't do downtown. I just don't do that. So he's actually using another agent for that one. So I don't really know exactly what he's looking for with downtown, just because I told him I don't service that area and I don't want to try to if I don't know anything.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you have something downtown condo wise that you're looking to maybe offload too.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's something there.
Let's make a trade.
I'm ready to make it. Well, okay. Send me your condo info and I'll let them know. And hey, maybe we can just make it a even trade there.
Yeah. So talk to me real quick. You said he's got other properties. You think we could look at buying all of them?
I doubt it, just because he likes to have his other properties. I mean, I can definitely ask him.
What if we
sell a portfolio? But
yeah, tell him. I mean, if he's open, like you know, we're deal makers, right? So we buy all of them. We got a 34 unit apartment in Austin. We'll sell to him, and we'll buy those, and he can 1031 into this 34 unit apartment complex.
Okay, well, I'll have to ask him though, because once you get to 34 units, you're dealing in commercial, which I don't know. You know, I don't know his comfortability, I guess is the word I'm looking for, with titrating up quite so much. You know, he has mainly single family residencies, right? Are you okay? Sorry, hold on. Are you all right? Okay, my kid just ran into the wall. But yeah, so I can talk to him about that. So it's a 34 unit complex. And you said that one's downtown?
Close to downtown, yeah. And we've got other, we got a portfolio. Like if he wants, I'm sure, most investors, they want to get cash flow, right? And these single family don't really cash flow. And if we could even talk to him with you, that'd be ideal, because then we can really kind of think through things. But we've got a lot of opportunities that we can work through. If we were to buy that one in Round Rock, I'd love to talk to that one specifically, but we try to do something bigger if we can.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we can chat about it. Again, most of the properties that he owns, I feel like he has owned for a while, because I know he's owned this one for about 10 years and the other one he's owned for, gosh, probably about 7 to 10 years maybe. And so for him, they're all kind of, they cash flow fine at this point because he's owned them for so long.
Yeah.
And he just keeps purchasing. Now, how many he has total? I'll have to figure that out. How many total? But yeah, let me talk to him and kind of see, what his game plan would be overall. And if, something maybe more like doing the bigger complexes would interest him. And then, yeah, we can set up a phone call once I chat with him and figure out what's his goal with that.
Beautiful. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, let's do that. And do me a favor, if you get any offers and he wants to decide to just sell the one, let me know so I can have a chance at it. But I want to go for the bigger deal.
Okay. Yeah. Let me let me chat with him. I actually am going to talk to him tonight because I did get an offer in this morning, but what's it at? It's at like 245.
245.
Yeah, I doubt he'll take that one. We got another one at 280 possibly coming in, maybe. And then we did have it under contract right at 3, but the guy lost his job.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, never mind then.
So you think he would do 290?
You might do 290 if you want to cut off the 3% commission.
I can't ever do that.
Well, I'm just saying. Again, I can always mention it to him, and we have that inspection report, so you can kind of see, what you're getting into. Because really, at the end of the day, the home comp's about 315, but we know it's going to need a new AC unit. He's tried 3 times to replace that roof, and insurance is like it's fine. So I don't know. That's another one that.
Yeah.
What do you do with that? So
well, let's get a bigger one done. We'll get a 10 or so done and get you a good commission. And
yeah, and we'll see let me see how many he has total, because I know it's 3, but I feel like he has even more, and I just don't even know where those are located. So let me chat with him, and I'll kind of let you know, and then we can schedule a phone call if that's something where he's interested in, coming up to maybe a bigger complex.
Cool. What else? What other ways can I help you out? You got any active buyers or anything coming soon?
No, buyers, yes, but they're already under contract, so we're good. I have some other buyers just starting, so if you got anything like Leander-ish, under 500, that's always a good option for them.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now I'm just trying to survive summer with the kids and get them in school.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, if you come across anything in Georgetown, Timberly on our team is the Georgetown expert. She's got off-market duplexes, houses, all kinds of stuff.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, actually, okay, you just triggered something in my mind. I do have another buyer interested in duplexes specifically. But I think he's wanting more Pflugerville area.
Georgetown's better than Pflugerville.
Well, I'm not him. He has his reasons, I guess. But if she has some in Georgetown, though, that might be something I could at least show him.
Okay.
Duplex. Okay. What's her name again?
Timberly. I'm going to put you on a group text right now.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, if you'll do that, and then that way I can at least get in contact with her about what she's got available up there.
When are you coming over to TRE?
Hey, you know what? I know y'all try hard, and you'll be my first conversation when I'm ready to move. But right now, I'm good at KW.
Yeah. What do you like about KW?
I like the referral system that they have nationally. I've gotten several referrals just from that association. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's always a nice bonus. I like our classes. I like a lot of the, insider stuff that they do as far as training, I guess is kind of what I'm thinking through. But yeah, and they help me with my team and kind of getting them going, and that's always good too.
What about getting you to own real estate though?
What about what?
They getting you to own real estate? We want to buy some real estate with you.
Oh, well, I already own several properties. So this year is my non-purchasing year because I already have enough on my plate with mine. So I'm not needing any more yet. Now talk to me again next year once, taxes are all done. And then we might be interested in that.
Cool. You know Alice, I'm sure.
Alice.
Duffy,
I know her name. Yes, I do know Alice Duffy.
She's great. She's at KW. She does a lot of deals.
I was gonna say, yes, I know. I think I've met her actually before, but
yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, hey, give me the list if you can, and then I'll be available. If you want to talk, call me anytime. I'm 24/7. So if y'all talk tonight, give me a call. Let's talk through it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for thinking of me.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay. Bye.
All right, bye.
Nothing too crazy, but just building that relationship.
Hey, do you have her info? I have a house in Leander. We can.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
Thanks.
So you never know. I mean, just conversations, guys. You guys bring these to the table. We can call. Y'all can call. We want to help everybody here. Timberley's in Georgetown. Maybe Mandy gets a deal done with Timberley. Ryan's a lender here. You know, we want to help. We want to grow together. That's the whole mentality here. Anything
Okay.
else? Questions? Hey, I guess one thing real quick while Alex, because you wanted everyone to introduce themselves that were new. Who else is new that has not introduced themselves? Maybe Ryan and Michael. Anyone else?
Ryan, Michael. Who else do we have on here? Ryan and Michael.
Ryan, Michael, if y'all don't mind, we'd love to, introduce yourself, to say how the group can help you out too.
All right, I'll start. Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks, Matt, Alex, for inviting me to this. This is pretty awesome. So I'm a lender, so I do residential and commercial lending full time, and then I also do some investing on the side. I own a couple Airbnbs, so I'm always dabbling. But yeah, I'm excited to learn more about what you guys are doing, and I love that role play, man. It's huge.
Cool.
Appreciate it, Matt.
That $300,000 house in Round Rock, that's something you would have bought probably 6 months ago all day and done Airbnb on.
Yep. So, well, cool. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Look
man.
forward to connecting with everybody.
Ryan's a great lender. He owns properties, so if y'all need his info, Ryan, go ahead, throw it in the chat if you don't mind. Michael, you there, brother? He's on mute.
If not, Michael posted his video in the community yesterday, I think.
Yeah, that's all I got. I just want to, Alex, take the floor in a second, but I really just, I want to do more lives on our group page. I want people to get on there. We can help save each other so much money, as you might see, on just negotiating, asking the right questions, and getting a property 10, 30, 50, 100,000 less, right? So if you have deals and we can negotiate as a separate buyer, we'll do that all day. And the more you get to know people here, you'll realize there's some people here doing big things. But other than that, once again, this isn't me and Alex. You guys take the lead, you ask questions, you jump in. The more you come prepared with deals, the more value you can get out of these. And we just truly want to help and grow together.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Marbury.
So about the property we looked at today, are you thinking of, and you may have mentioned, I was kind of distracted for a little while. One, are you thinking of buying it with the fund? Two, what are you thinking of doing to the units if you guys actually get the property? Because that was a pretty rough, those were pretty rough units.
Yeah, all options though. We don't have a very, very clear plan yet. The fund is always a option, but we would want to have a home run. So we would want to get it at, 105 a door for the fund. We do have capital, just so everyone here knows, we have capital in the fund that we need to put to use. We want to be smart with it. But if you guys want to partner, if you find a deal and you can represent us, that's fine. So the fund's actively looking. Typically, when we buy properties, we buy them for the long run to give to our kids. And so usually the goal isn't to come in and spend a lot of money, because when you're doing that, you do that and then you want to get that money back. And the refi method's not the strategy right now. So you have to just turn around and sell it. And usually that's 3 to 5 years. And now is not the time to be preparing for that strategy, in my opinion. So we would do as little as possible, honestly. We'd want it to be, we want to buy properties that we're not getting maintenance calls on, for the, anytime immediately, but we don't want to go make everything super nice unless that was the strategy, which it could be if we had it at a different price, or, we ran into an investor and they wanted to partner with the fund. And so we really don't lock into any strategy. We go with no fear, jump in, understand that you can and that you will figure it out, and then adapt as you go. And you can figure out these strategies quickly, right? Like we could sit down and in 4 hours and lay out every possible strategy. But there's no point in my opinion, to do that until we know we've captured value, and then we'll go do that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I guess I need to learn to sort of look at these things in a different light and look at it just as the investment, because it would be really hard for me if I were to acquire something that looks like that and then have my name attached. Like that is not a representation of what I want to put out there the way it looks now. Like, I can't even believe people are renting it, but that's obviously I live in a bubble of some sort because I could never live in any of those units. But
not to cut you off, keep your thought, but I want to
go ahead.
I posted earlier about I'm trying to come up with the 10 rules of real estate, and really like put a lot of thought into it. Brian, I think was that you, Brian, who had a comment about one of the rules
about buying the math?
Yeah. Say what you were saying, because I think that applies to what she's talking about.
Yeah, I just said buy the math problem and not the real estate.
Buy the math problem and not the real estate, right? I mean, maybe you do need to shift your mind. I agree with you, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to own nice properties, but we're not buying Class A or building brand new, and so we're looking at the math, right? And then we can come in and we can still do good work and make people feel good. And I mean, that's one of my dreams, is to pay off all my properties and make them super nice, where like people are very proud and almost like you're doing God's work by letting someone have a sanctuary at home. I'd love to do that. But right now it's like, we're just trying to get scale. And so you got to just kind of do the best you can with what you have.
You'd be surprised too, Mybrit, about how much it would cost to do a make ready on those and make them look really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It actually wouldn't, be a tremendous amount unless there's more than cosmetic things there. They're all pretty small, especially the studio units. Flooring, paint, scraping ceilings, light fixtures, countertops. Even if you had to get new cabinets, vanities, resurfacing the bathtubs and showers, even if you did that on every single unit, it wouldn't be 30-40K per unit.
Right.
So what we did find out there at this property, because I asked the broker who owns the ones next door, and Ari Rostigar owns both properties right next door to this one. And Ari went in and he put in a ton of money into his properties, and as this is how he buys and manages and does it. But those properties are actually not doing too well right now. And also too, with this property, you're not going to kick all the tenants out day one and renovate every single unit, right? So as 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units come up availability for rent, if the tenants don't want to renew, then you can go in and renovate the units kind of unit by unit, because the outside of the property, it's actually not that bad. Comparatively speaking, there's a lot worse properties, but this one was built, 40 something years ago, and it's actually in pretty good condition. And so renovating the inside of the units wouldn't be that hard to do. But one thing you want, just like Brian's talking about buying the math problem, you don't want to go in and spend $40,000 per unit if it's going to bring you an extra $50 a month, right? So you have to work that math problem to make it make sense. But that's kind of another reason why this one is able to be worked, is because it's not Class A. It's not in perfect condition. The owner and management company have not done a very good job managing the property, and therefore it's in tough shape. And so even though in my head I know that it doesn't need that much work to make it pretty again on the inside, when we're there, we're not saying that. We're saying, wow, these look really, the same way you just talked about it is how we want the broker to think we feel about it.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, most of you were really cool. I'm sure my look was just horrified by some of it. I just really couldn't believe that people had just moved out of that, or they're about to lease one of them in a week. And I'm thinking, Timberly was kind of, I think she had the same look that I did, kind of like, are you kidding me? You're going to rent this in a week? Like, what? How is that even possible? So I think it's just a mindset.
You got to see more units, and most apartments look, probably, I didn't see it, but I'd assume it looks like most apartments, honestly. Not
Well, and I mean, this is the first time I've actually walked an apartment complex. It's always just regular family homes, right? So, and I've seen lots, and I mean, turned the hoarder houses into beautiful Airbnbs. So like, I get that, like, that's an easier thing for me to wrap my head around versus 34 of these, right?
Yeah.
Like individual horrific units. So I have to say, you guys were all very like, oh, okay, sure, whatever. Now it's just mind blown.
Well, good. Hey, I'm glad that you came. Good questions, and we'll look at as many of these as we possibly can. If you find ones that you want to set up, let's go look at them together.
Hey, Matt.
I really
and
appreciate
Alex.
you guys putting it out there. That was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So what is this fund, and how much do you have?
So the fund is sitting on 260 in cash right now. The TRE Growth Fund, we bought a bunch of real estate. We can't raise any more money, but we have the cash, and we want to go and the rest of it's invested into assets that we're gonna sell later. We got the money, we can lend it, we can flip. We need to make money on it. We want to be smart. It's valuable cash to have right now. So 260 ready to go.
And just like asset classes that cash flow where you can
anything that's safe. This is investors' money, so we have to be even more careful.
Of course.
Anything safe that we can make money on, we're looking at.
Are there any specific returns that they're looking for?
We try to make 20 to 30% on any deal that we're doing.
Cool.
Great question. Thank you for asking that. Does anybody have anything that they need that they feel like they haven't been able to talk about that you want to bring up? Ways that we can bring value. I want to make sure you guys feel really good. There's some serious hustlers here, and I just know that we can do a lot together. Andy, did you have anyone? Make sure you write that down and bring it up. But Andy, it looked like you had a question or a thought.
Yeah, I don't know how to work all this stuff. Hey, so how do I change rezone it from residential to, I mean, I know sometimes it's not possible, but like you guys did with your TRE place in McNeil Road, how do you do that? And what is the sign term that the zone is? You could do light commercial or like.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole zoning code that documents what can be used for each acronym. But ultimately, if you're changing the zoning, you got to go through the city, and the city council's got to vote on it. If nobody's done this, I would highly recommend doing a pre-development meeting. You can go and have a property and go meet with any city. And in Round Rock, for example, they'll bring the fire marshal, sometimes they'll bring the mayor, and they'll tell you what they think about a property, what they would prefer to be done. And then you go and you do all your work with your architects and engineers, and you come and you submit it to be an approved use, right? And so if it's something that the neighborhood doesn't want, then there's a city council vote and there's a big battle. But it's a process, and it's all done through the city, city council at the end of the day. But the zoning code, if you want to look it up, every area has different codes. And I'll say like C1 means this, C2 means this, C3 means this.
Oh, got it. Okay. So there's no like standard for Austin.
For Austin, yeah, but like that's just Austin. I don't, I mean, there's like 50 of them, so I don't know all of them.
Right. Got it. Okay, cool.
And if you want to just go to Google and type in Austin Municipal Code, and it's it's a huge document. I'll show you real quick, but anybody can do this. So oh my gosh.
I think C1 is the best. I think C1 allows you to do anything commercial.
So if anybody ever wants to look up what the zoning is on a property, you can just go to and say it's in Austin, and you can do this for every city that has interactive maps. Austin does, Leander doesn't, Round Rock does. It kind of varies city by city.
Yeah.
But you may be able to find a PDF, but you can just go here, Austin zoning map. You can come here into this interactive map, and then you can look up an address and find out the zoning for, a property. And so you can do that here. Like, give me an address.
2601 Ashdale.
Hey, on that, you can also, guys, look at the permit history. So if you're ever looking at a building and they're saying, hey, there's nothing wrong with this, well, you can always pull the permits, and it gives you a pretty good indication on how that structure is, or if there's anything that has been done to that.
Yep. They've got a lot of information on here. And so, Ann, we see that the zoning is SF2. So what does that mean? Well, we can go to Google and type in Austin Municipal Code, Muni Code. You can go to Land Development Code.
I think it just means they can have an ADU, right?
Yeah, you can search for it, and you can find all the information relating to this zoning.
Would we be able to see? I don't think anybody in the neighborhood has applied for a rezone. I mean, there's no commercial, although they back up to commercial, but okay, do y'all know, is there, I can't see that, it's so tiny, but I see where you are, so that's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Andy, did you have a question?
Maybe I could take it offline. I was just interested in your 34 unit apartment. It seems like you have it under contract, and only right now it's at 4.3 mil. But Alex mentioned that he may put in like 30K per unit to upgrade so that you get 900 to 1,200 in rent. But 30K per unit makes it another $1 million on top of your 4.3. So
we won't put 30K. The guy next door, Ari, he put 30K.
He did.
Into his unit.
He put 30K. I see. So do you? But to get us from $900 in rent to 1,200, will we probably do something to each unit? Maybe like 10K or something?
Probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah. It's hard, or else it's hard to raise
But
that much income without doing something. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I've experienced is that for the first time since I've been in Austin doing real estate, you can actually crank up the rents higher than in the past. Because a lot less, the renter pool is a lot bigger than it used to be, because not a lot of people are buying, and rents weren't going up that much, like to keep up with taxes, right? You could maybe increase it like $50, but now some of these properties you can increase them 300, 400. And so there's this market demand that it's not really getting talked about, but that you can actually just go get 1,200 without doing anything.
You're right. Maybe because there's a bunch of out-of-state people who just need a place, and to them it's cheap compared to California, New York, or something.
Well, that's it, but they can't buy, right? Like none of my friends that were waiting for the market to crash. You know, that's the other thing. You're waiting for the market to crash to buy, but now it's harder to buy. You know, so that's something to really think about. Good question. But hey, we do not have it under contract. We have an offer in, and we're trying to get it under contract.
Oh, okay, great. Awesome.
Anyone else? Anything important you feel like you need to say, you need help with? We'll probably get out of here in a little bit, unless y'all need something.
Go ahead, Ann. Did you have something?
No, I'm just saying I gotta go. I appreciate this. I'm going to show up once. I liked hearing people talk about their kids. And once mine are, school, I'll have my hat tied on.
You see our boy Grant Slam in Austin?
I didn't. I haven't been able to watch him as much, but I'm headed out there Thursday. I'm going to Elena's event. There's
a big article. Just type it in on Google, where he's just knocking Austin.
It's just like the last one I pitched to him. It was just super clear. We have way too much inventory. It doesn't even matter how much you tell them about the compression and the specific areas that are like ideal, until these interest rates go crazy good. I don't think he's anywhere near us, but that's okay. It's still great to learn.
Hopefully we all know we're big believers in Austin, and
oh gosh,
we're a couple announcements away from Austin being on fire again one day. But I would never bet against Austin, Texas.
No, and it's so, it's so weird. We all know weird. Nobody that doesn't live here, it's hard for them to understand what we mean. It's not just, it's it's everything. And it may seem like we don't have we have too much inventory, but
Yeah.
you know the deal. Thanks, y'all. See ya.
Wait.
The best state.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Hey, did I just hear? But I think I remember that Grant Cardone said yesterday or the other day, whatever, that he won't touch Austin at all.
Yeah.
Can you comment on that? What do you think about that?
That's what I was just talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in Austin. Jobs and people keep coming here, and it's easy to change your tune, right? When he's just going with what they're saying on the media, and I get it, but we got jobs and people coming here. And like I said, my opinion, we're in the best city in the best state. So I think if everything is 15, 20, 30 years down the line, and I think we're going to be just fine in Austin. That's my opinion.
But are we overpriced in any way? Should we take a dip?
We already have. I mean, we've seen a really big dip, you know, in the last like 6-8 months. I mean, it's dropped 10, 20% on a lot of properties. I don't think we're going to dip a lot more, just my opinion.
Do you think any owners, the owners that are distressed and want to move out? Sound like a lot of people in California want to move out, right? So like those people could be distressed. But what about Austinites?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a company called, look up Story Built, big company in Austin that's having massive trouble. They're very well known. They're experiencing it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's happening, man. It's not easy right now. Now's a survival game. You got to hang on for the next couple of years. When rates do go back down, I think things are just going to skyrocket again. And now's the time to stay ahead of it and to be entrepreneurial.
Does that mean that now is the time to be aggressive on an offer? I mean, like aggressive in our pricing?
Very much. So. Yeah.
Very much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great questions. I love it. What else? You guys need anything?
Still got that deal on Corpus that we talked about last week. They wanted 89. Now they've gone down to 62, and I offered 40. So I don't know. We still have that deal if you wanted to chat about it later.
Yeah, I mean, can you just get it under? Do you think you can get it under contract and get yourself some time?
On which price?
45, 50, maybe.
Yeah, I can see what we can do.
Just try to tie it up, man. I think I got like 3 or 4 buyers that I think we could make a run at it with.
Okay. All right.
Beautiful. Good job.
I'll text you. All right.
Anyone else? Velma, you've been quiet. You soaking it in?
Yep, just soaking it all in.
Oh, good. Timberly?
Yeah, that was my first like commercial property to walk in a sense of units. So it was definitely very interesting to see. And like she said, we were both looking at each other like, wow, this place is needs some work. So that was really interesting to see. I'd be curious how much you need to go in there and spend per door to fix it up and make it look a little bit more, not presentable, but more, like some of the cabinets were a little bit messed up. The bathroom just really wasn't that like clean. But I think it could still be a good property to get under contract. It's in a good area. And like the broker was saying, it's lower rent and, there's still people that need a place like that. And so I think there's a big need for it for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alex, anything?
Nope, all good. I'm going to be posting something in the community, getting feedback from everyone on what y'all would like to see added to the weekly calls. So we'll keep this one, but sometimes we try and fit a lot of stuff into this one, which is good and or bad. Honestly, would love y'all's feedback on it. But what we'd like to do is add more calls throughout the week. So like, maybe one day a week we're teaching something. Such as, how to analyze this or how to analyze that or how to do this or that. Another day, maybe it's, you know, people come in, they do pitch deals. They have a deal that they've analyzed, they've done the research on, they're pitching deals to the community, etc. So I'm gonna post something in there. Would love y'all's feedback. Again, this is all for you guys. You know, Matt and I don't want to come up here and talk about things that y'all don't find valuable. So the more feedback that we can get and the more stuff that we can implement that everybody will benefit from, the better. Ultimately, what we'd really just love to see is everybody working more together, doing more deals together, bringing more deals to each other. The more we collaborate, the more we can accomplish. So
Yeah, if you guys bring stuff, right? Hey, I got this and this. Bring it. Let's work it.
Go ahead, Andy. You're on mute. There you go.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. I'm new. I know I'm new, but as a group, do we have house rules that that maybe Matt and Alex can say, hey, you know what, these are house rules and help promote collaborations over competitions, and encourage this and that. Do we have some good stuff that I should learn about? Kind of like participate as much as you can. When you're doing something, please pitch it to the team. Hear their advice, like things like that. Do we have some basic, like Matt was saying, he has 10 good rules. He's trying to come up for real estate investment, but do you have 10 good rules to build a team, collaborate, encourage, do your homework, things like that? Do we have good rules to work on?
That's great.
Not officially.
Yeah, not officially, but hey, if you guys want to come up with stuff and put thoughts together, Andy, if you want to, we want to make this about everyone. I mean, my rule would be ask questions, you know, just don't show up and don't, because if you're not asking questions, you're not thinking enough, in my opinion. When I first started, I was always asking questions, right? So that's one thing. But if there's ways that you guys know that we can be better, let's do it, right? If you want to put some thought into that, but for the most part, not really. Just be respectful, you know, hustle, be clear on what you want. You know, we've got our core values and stuff like that, but we're always open to, I think it's a cool idea. You know, we've thought about getting these pods together where there's 3 people to keep each other accountable. But no major rules, man.
Okay, good.
Andy, we're not much of rule followers, Matt and I. But I do like it. I mean, everything you said is stuff that we say, you know, every week. But I mean, we can put something in place like that.
So Alex and I are going to be making some calls sometime soon. I went driving for dollars and found 4 properties that looked distressed. One had a what did I tell you, Alex? They had a code enforcement letter taped to the front of the door, and talked to the neighbor, found out the property had been vacant for 2 or 3 years. So I'm going to be getting some contact information. And then the other 3, 2 of them look like you could barely get to the front door. So we'll go live on those here in the next few days, maybe. And so maybe see if we can't pull together some wholesale deals, maybe.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Give me a high five, Velma. There you go. All right, everyone. Michael, do you want to take a second to introduce yourself? We got you now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Hi, I'm Michael. I've been here watching and listening. So, I'm kind of excited to be here. A little nervous to be a part of this for the first time and just kind of see what you guys are talking in. I know I was late to this, but jumping in and kind of seeing where you're at with everything. But yeah, I'm just looking to start investing more. I'm a real estate agent. I'm over at Realty Austin, and I've been doing this since 2016. But now I need to put some properties in my pocket and really kind of practice what I preach. I help investors buy stuff, and now I need to do it myself. So, and realizing like I've got opportunities. I call expires. I call people all the time. I talk to people all the time that are in different situations, and just need to capitalize on those. So, but I realize, I used to have this mentality of like, oh, I'm going to do this all by myself. I don't want to bring anybody into this. I don't want to share a piece of the pie. And my mentality on that has really been challenged and changed where, you can go farther and do bigger things with more people on your team. So, just kind of hearing, Matt and Alex preach that past couple events you guys have done, and like, man, I really need to do that. So taking the step and being here. So, yeah, just excited to be a part of this.
Do you work around Carl Hausman? Do you hang out?
I don't know that. That doesn't sound familiar.
No? Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't sound familiar.
Welcome, Michael.
Welcome, Michael.
We're all going to eat more pie together when it's, we're eating from a bigger pie.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. It's nice
Matt,
to have.
I'm cold calling with your mom tomorrow.
All right, let's go.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Thank you, everybody here. We will see you next week. I already posted in the Facebook group. Vote on those, add more options, whatever you think would be beneficial. We're just looking to add more stuff for you guys.
Stay entrepreneurial. Go get it, guys. No fear.